Alright, we're back. Back a little later than I wanted to be. It's almost 8 o'clock right now, Mountain Time, but yeah, I just wanted to come back. As I said, I'd be back to talk about the Cowboys-Cardinals game. I mean, how can I not? It's just real wild to me. I mean, I'm not going to talk too much. I mean, I can go into numbers here. It's just wild to me just how much hype is generated with all these different teams, and yeah, the Broncos are definitely included in that in a lot of ways, but that's a conversation for a whole other time. But it's wild because Dak went 25 for 40 and had 249 passing yards with one touchdown, one interception. Now, the interesting thing is that the Cowboys would typically be able to survive with numbers like that. However, it just doesn't seem like things are the same right now. And that's the real thing that I really wanted to talk about more than anything else when it comes to this. Not even so much just about the Cowboys, but the Cardinals as well. And that's mostly, excuse me, because I'm just setting things aside here. It's largely because of the fact that, truth be told, I was in Arizona for the better part of 9 years. Okay, I mean, I got to see a lot with the Cardinals very closely, and it also kind of resonates with me significantly. Also, for the fact that Vance Joseph is the defensive coordinator somehow still at this very moment, as of this very moment. I'm not even sure how or even why this is a possibility. It's just what it is. I mean, I know there had to have been conversations. There's no way you can tell me that there weren't some sort of discussions. Anyways, I'm not gonna rant about that here. I'll use that for another video that I may even do tonight. But I see that, and I caught on to a little bit of what's been going on with the Cardinals, and it's just wild to me because all they've done is just blow leads and give up their first two wins, the first two losses of the season. Yet, against a team which somehow, someway, almost seemingly every year is a contender for whatever reason. I mean, and it's not that they don't deserve to be in certain cases. I certainly understand why they'd be the favorite in the NFC East. I mean, let's just be honest. That division, it just is really, really weird, if we're being honest. And I kind of feel like the Eagles are trying to take the weird out of it, but at the same time, I want to be perfectly clear because I feel like there are Cowboys fans out there that I know they're going to see this. I want to be clear, and especially because some of you I'm actually cool with. But this is just the God honest truth of it all. Y'all's team, y'all's organization, all that, y'all just love keeping it weird. That's just the truth. I mean, I think about the fact that you bring in guys like a Stephon Gilmore and other names that I want to think about that they've had over the years that just, for one reason or another, were supposed to be able to help elevate the Cowboys into at least playing in the Super Bowl status. I don't know so much about winning because you got teams like Kansas City, and I would dare say even the Baltimore Ravens, despite losing yesterday, are even in the conversation. I'm not really sure I see Dallas beating anyone out of the AFC. That's just reality. Philadelphia is just a little bit better built for that. And of course that's more my opinion, but just from what I see of that, they're showing me that they're better built. I mean, I'm seeing the game on right now. They're up 25-3. I think fairly late in the fourth quarter against the Bucks, which that should be to the surprise of absolutely no one. But all the same, I think about, excuse me, what we've seen from this organization over recent years, and there's definitely been potential for success. Now, Aaron Rodgers has been in a way of a lot of that, and fortunately that won't be the case, but that doesn't mean that isn't true with Jalen Hurts, or, I guess in a lot of cases, Brock Purdy, more notably also Jimmy Garoppolo, but we're not even going there with that. The only point I'm trying to make here is that for all the hype, and now that Trayvon Diggs is out for the rest of the season, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see how this team holds up. And in a way, I guess I wouldn't mind seeing them be successful, but, you know, at least it's not as annoying as it was back in the 90s. I'll just leave it at that as far as that's concerned. But this is where we got to talk about the Cardinals, too, because if we're being perfectly honest here, nobody expected shit from these dudes whatsoever. That's just the reality of it. I mean, I kind of feel like everybody and their mama was writing them off. I mean, talking about they're going to be the front runner for the number 1 overall pick. And I guess I stand corrected now. I see that Tampa got on the board again. It's now 25-11. But the point I'm trying to make here is it's just so wild to me because there's definitely something to what they have going on, and I think there's more good than what a lot of people want to give credit for. Now, say what you will about Kyler Murray, there are some things that need to be worked out, and once he's healthy, hopefully that's been ironed out. But that's going to be for there and then. I mean, I'll keep my eyes open for it. We'll see what happens. But one thing I am going to say about this is, wow, and we get a good strip sack, or, oh, I thought it was going to be a strip sack on, from Burrow, but anyway, I'm sorry, I get distracted. I got the Bengals, Rams on one monitor, Eagles, Bucks on the other, but anyway, as far as the Cardinals are concerned, I mean, yeah, Kyler, when he comes back, we'll see from there. But I feel like there's something there because it seems as though Josh Dobbs, I mean, and that's the real interesting thing. They went away from Colt McCoy to Josh Dobbs. And I don't personally have too much of a problem with that because I actually like Josh Dobbs. I believe it was with Tennessee that he was with last year, interestingly enough, because he went to school in Knoxville. With him in Tennessee last year, it was really interesting, and I was thinking, I just can't believe they wouldn't keep him around as a backup. But then again, they do have Malik Willis. Now they also have Will Levis, but I don't know what's going to happen with either of them. And Tannehill still seems to be doing it right now, at least to some degree. But either way, the fact that the Cardinals were willing to bring him in from Tennessee is very profound to me, just for the fact that just the same as I saw something and was particularly interested, I see that clearly Arizona found interest, and it was for good reason because he's holding it down. Again, they've had leads. They just found a way to blow them. And at least in this case, against a contender favorite in Dallas, they found a way to get it done. Say what you will, I mean, Dak did get an interception, but that I don't feel like is terribly bad, especially when you got a guy like Mahomes that throws interceptions. And look at him. I mean, he's just like that, is Mahomes. That's the whole difference. Unfortunately, you can't say that for Dak. But that doesn't mean that they can't turn it around and be successful. I would like to imagine, I keep forgetting, I think Deron Bland is his name. Maybe he's able to shine. Now, I don't know enough about the Arizona defense because in the last couple of years, respectively, you've lost both Patrick Peterson as well as Byron Murphy, who are both other places. Both of them wound up going to Minnesota. Now Pat Pete's in Pittsburgh and actually balled out against the Raiders last night. Yeah. But, no, in all seriousness, it's like, it's just real wild because somehow there's still potential there. I know about Marco Wilson, but I haven't seen enough of the games to really get familiar with the product. I'll probably look into clips at some point as I get the time for it. But the reality is there was something there. I mean, they were, I believe, I think 8-0 up to a certain point before finally seeing defeat at the hands of the Packers on a Thursday night game. You know, I mean, it's not like you got bums on this squad. That is far from the case. But nonetheless, I just feel like it's just real wild to see the contrast between these two teams and the way that they've been viewed all the way to this point. Now, again, there's still a lot we need to see from Arizona. But by the same token, that has to be said for the Cowboys as well. Nonetheless, let me know what you guys think. Am I off on any of this? I mean, again, I haven't watched enough of either side, but just based on the things that I've seen, I mean, I couldn't really watch too much of that that Sunday night game, the opener against the Giants. I mean, that really says nothing to me with the way the Giants looked that night. And then, of course, they're the ones that actually beat Arizona the week before. I mean, how does that work? Anyway, I'm just not even sure what else to say. Let me know what y'all think. Like, share, subscribe. Y'all know what it is. I'll get at y'all.